Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now. News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Monday. It is April 21st, 2025. This is the Morning News. It's News Radio for South Texas. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz. We get AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on standby. I think is increasing the chance of rain for tomorrow. We got a few showers this past weekend. We'll take a look at the rain gauges as well. You know how they always say, don't text and drive. We got an example from San Benito, a deadly example from this past weekend. A truck driver from Mexico charged with negligent homicide after a deadly weekend crash in San Benito. Investigators say that the driver was texting just before his truck crashed into a vehicle attempting to make a turn. 70-year-old Lorenzo Guajardo from San Benito died in the crash. Luis Gonzalez Altamirano from Mexico was given a $500,000 bond following his arrest. It's 7:06 on the Valley's Morning News. Police say that a baby who died at an Hidalgo daycare center was suffering from several respiratory problems. The 9-month-old baby was pronounced dead after arriving at the hospital. Investigation determined that the child's mother knew that the baby was sick but did not tell daycare staffers. The daycare reportedly is not under investigation at this time. It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. Up in Austin, legislative session with the education funding issue now in the rearview mirror. State lawmakers are ready to get back to work on another top item for some conservatives.
Republicans came together to pass a private school voucher bill. Now they're moving on to property tax reform. Experts predict it will not be easy to come to a consensus.
There is a great deal of difference between the lieutenant governor's approach and the speaker and the House's version.
UTSA professor John Taylor says that one plan involves using a budget surplus to buy down school taxes. Another, pushed by the lieutenant governor, seeks to raise the homestead exemption. There's no middle ground.
It's 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News, and this note from McAllen. McAllen will begin paying its last respects to Assistant City Manager Joe Veda today. Public viewing will be held at the McAllen Performing Arts Center beginning at 4 p.m. Rosary at 6. Funeral services will be held at Sacred Heart, downtown McAllen, 1 p.m., and he will be buried at Palm Valley Memorial Gardens in Pharr following the service. Veda was 69 years old when he passed away last week. And if you're going to Sam's, heads up, you're going to need to check your stuff out on your own. Sam's Club is phasing out its in-person checkouts at all 600 locations. Sam's Club will replace checkouts with people with something called Scan and Go. You have to do it yourself. And also Just Walk is the program. Technology that allows you to scan your goods with the Sam Club mobile app. Then an AI scanner will check the stuff as you leave the store. Coming up after AccuWeather with Jeffrey Nordine, Nintendo just dropped some big news, and we got that for you on the Switch 2. That's coming up right after AccuWeather. And AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine joining us. I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. Purina Feed, it's the best. That's why Dougie at Martin Farm and Ranch carry it. He's a certified dealer for Purina Feed. You stop by, say hi to Dougie for us. Meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. We got a little bit of rain this past weekend, Jeffrey. Did you get a chance to look at some of the rain gauges? How much we got in the area?
As you asked. Yeah, so I saw around anywhere between, let's say, a tenth to a quarter of an inch in some spots. Some of the gauges seem to be off. One of them being in the Mid-Valley Airport, showing in Weslaco, 0.8. So, and that's just one report.
That's pretty good. Okay. Now, I noticed you put the possibility of a thunder shower tomorrow or going into tomorrow. So how much do you think we might get again?
That's another tenth to a quarter. Not a lot, but certainly something that's going to push through. It's the tail end of a front that's affecting the eastern part of the country. And then we still have, some chances coming up beyond that. It's not a completely dry week. We're looking at some on Friday night, a very light shower. And then well into next week, we'll have our next round at that point. And right now, it's looking pretty steady.
Excellent. Texas travel, interesting today, or is it all clear? What's going on?
Clear today in some spots. So we have Dallas dry with sunshine in low 80s. Showers and thunderstorms for Houston and San Antonio. Houston area, a little bit more so in terms of the accumulation.
All right, so we got a little bit of fog right now, and as promised, let's look at those reporting stations. 7 o'clock. What you got?
Brownsville's at 6 miles of visibility, 77 degrees. McAllen, 73, down to 3 miles. Harlingen, 72, a mile. Weslaco and Edinburgh are the lowest at a quarter mile of visibility. Weslaco temp, 71, and Edinburgh, 72.
All right. Well, today is, maybe you'll find some at half price if they were sold for Easter. That would be chocolate-covered cashew day. Today. Yeah, we're trying to sell off all the candy.
I thought you were going to say it's Jelly Bean Day.
Yeah. No, that could be any day, but the official holiday today would be chocolate-covered cashews. And that's it on the menu for today. I guess we're all going to get sugared up, get salty and sugar at the same time. All right, pal.
Exactly.
That's call you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on 710 KURV. Jeffy might be sticking around listening to this one because I promised something on Nintendo. Gamers, get ready. Nintendo just dropped some big news. It's finally game time for Switch 2.
After a short delay, Nintendo has officially set the pre-order date for its highly anticipated Switch 2 console. Starting Thursday, April 24th, fans in the U.S. can reserve their spot just in time for the June 5th release. Now, the console is going to stick to its original price of $449.99 or $499.99 if you want the Mario Kart World Bundle. But if you want accessories, that's going to be a little pricier. A dock setup is up by $10. Most other add-ons, about $5 more. Nintendo says the change comes from market conditions, aka tariffs and trade stuff. Best Buy's even doing a midnight launch. So gamers, mark your calendars.
Yeah, I wasn't able to follow her on the dock setup thing and all that stuff. But I understood the tariffs things. That means it's going to cost me more to buy something for the boys. And time is 7:12 on the Valley's Morning News. DHL Express suspending global shipments worth over $800 to American consumers. They say it's temporary, but DHL Express, the German-based courier, saying they're trying to deal and negotiate with U.S. Customs. They got some new rules on U.S. Customs because of, yes, the tariffs. Capital One is getting approval to acquire Discover. Back to Texas and back to South Texas. Texas Senator John Cornyn asking President Trump for support in disaster relief efforts for South Texas. The Republican senator sent a letter to the president on Friday, Cornyn saying that the state of Texas has asked for an emergency disaster declaration following the heavy rain and flooding from a few weeks ago. Fascinating business note. Check this out. Permits have been filed for 4 mini nuclear reactors to be built along the Texas Gulf Coast. That an announcement from a subsidiary of Dow Chemical.
Governor Abbott has said it's time for Texas to lead a nuclear power renaissance in the U.S., and it's out of need.
We must add more power this session to better fortify our grid.
A big part of this plan, House Bill 14, it would create a $2 billion fund to promote nuclear power and establish the Texas Nuclear Deployment Office. Former Texas Public Utility Commissioner Jimmy Glotfelty.
We are the low regulatory, low cost state. We have the supply chain, we have the labor, and what this bill will do will put us a leg up on every other state.
The Texas House will take up House Bill 14 next week. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Time is 7:14. This is the Valley's Morning News. News Talk 710 KURV. Also at Radio Para Mi. Download that free app. Up next on the Valley's Morning News, Joaquin Spammer, Rioplex. We're just a few days removed from the big conference up in Houston, and some international folks had a chance to hear the sales pitch from South Texas. Okay, we'll do a quick review and see what's next. We're selling South Texas and northern Mexico to the world. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
Give your liver the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to Nordicusa.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
Look at the rack on that one. You know that buck's been eating Purina Antler Max 20 because it ensures maximum antler growth. Martin Farm and Ranch Supply also stocks a full line of deer nutrition for keeping your deer in top shape. In addition to being a certified Purina feed dealer, Martin sells all seasons feeders and blinds. So remember, Purina Antler Max 20 and all seasons feeders. Your deer can't do any better.
Come see us at Martin Farm and Ranch Supply in Edinburgh. Just look for the horse.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Brian Kilmeade here. After my show, weekday afternoons at 2, stay tuned for the 956 Drive Home with Zach and Davis starting at 4 on News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
15 minutes after the hour, the morning news on News Talk 710 KURV. 7 o'clock hour, we go live on X, also Facebook. So join us for all the videos as well. This radio station is the one and only station in South Texas for Houston Astros play-by-play. They did pretty good. Beat the Red Hot Padres this past weekend. Got 2 games out of 3. They're hosting the Blue Jays, still at home. 7 p.m. coverage tonight on News Talk 710 KURV, made possible by the Mission Economic Development Office. Big thank you as well to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. But just a few days ago, you heard us do the big broadcast from Houston on the morning news, my program as well. We were talking with representatives from Rioplex, South Texas, being represented to the world. Massive get-together that took place in Houston. Joaquin Spammer, local industrialist, is leading the charge. We're trying to sell South Texas, trying to recruit industry, the money quote from the get-together, trying to recruit for South Texas at the speed of business, not the speed of government. Okay. So for folks, and we've got some of these audio sessions and the video still replaying on LinkedIn, on X. We're still sharing more of these videos, and we'll continue to do that for weeks on end. We'll just continue to share all these conversations.
Thank you.
So for folks who missed this big news, let's do, for the folks who are not familiar with Rioplex, this effort, let's do a quick rewind. In 1 minute, explain what is Rioplex, what do we hope to achieve?
Thank you, Sergio.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me again. Good morning to all your audience. Well, Rioplex, to put it simply, is a trademark for industrial marketing purposes. The region Rioplex is the southern part of Texas, from Roma to Bronzeville, and the northern part of Tamaulipas, from Ciudad Mier to Matamoros. And that's what we call Rioplex. And that's what we are marketing to the rest of the world for industrial purposes. That's what we're doing with Rioplex, my friend.
And the big meeting in Houston, you were able to bring together the top 7 cities, biggest cities for South Texas, the county judges, the governor's office, economic development group, and a host of, give me a list of all these folks from different countries that were there, and you were able to present to them.
That is correct, Sergio. As we were talking about in our last conversation, there's about a little bit over 35 countries doing business in Texas already. And Rioplex wants to talk to all of them, tell them what we are all about, tell them what successes we had with SpaceX, with LNG, and with everything that is happening down here in the valley, and tell them we are the best location for any future investment and any future manufacturing, that any of these countries, any of the companies coming from these countries that might want to be here in the U.S., here in Texas, I think we have the perfect region for them.
Of the 14, right, it was like 14 countries that were represented at the Houston summit, right?
Yes, there were 14 total.
All right, and you mentioned there's probably more that you will be doing personal handshaking and presentations.
That is correct. There were about 10 that couldn't come. That they want us to go, sit down, talk to them, explain to them what the region is all about. Keep in mind, Sergio, that if you're let's say that you're a manufacturing company out of Germany, and you're thinking of doing business or setting up shop here in the States, I mean, Texas is going to be one of your main locations that you're going to be looking at. And if you have a trade office in Texas, you're going to talk to them. And you're going to say, guys, we want to see different options in the state of Texas. What should we do? And this office will normally take care of them. They will show them the regions. They will introduce them to the Texas Economic Development Corporation, to the Texas Association of Business, to the Economic and Tourism Office, to the governor of them himself. And these companies are going to try to make up their mind. Where should I make the investment? Should I go to Austin? Should I go to Houston or Dallas, the biggest cities? And I believe when they see what we are all about, what the Rio Grande Valley has to sell, what we as for industrial purposes are calling a Rioplex, I think we have their best option. Without any doubts.
10-4. And what we don't have that Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas has is name recognition. This is why this approach from private sector in locking arms with economic development chiefs and leadership, hopefully this pays off. At a time when we have, oh my goodness, billions upon billions of dollars investment moving in. Like Novartis last week said, because of tariffs, they are quickly trying to set up operations and manufacturing of drugs. That's the first major expansion we heard from Novartis in a long time. We could host something like that. We do clean rooms for Reynosa. We could do clean rooms on the Mexican side as well. We do it for computers. We can do it on this side as well. We have the capacity, land, population, education, assets. We've got, sea, air, space, sports, all those things. What was the reaction from the folks who did go?
They love it.
Yeah.
They love Rio Place. They love the Valley. They love Northern Tamaulipas.
Were they surprised? Like, hey, we didn't know you existed.
That was everybody said that. We didn't know.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Let me tell you something, Sergio. That the people in the state of Texas, they don't know about us.
Yeah.
So if you talk to a big company out of Dallas or Houston, and you start telling them what we have accomplished down here, they don't believe it. They still think that the South Texas is a ranches, agricultural community, that we are a very good place to go hunting and fishing, but they don't see us as a manufacturing hub. When we get the opportunity to explain that Rio Plex, for manufacturing purposes, is one of the best hubs that they can find here in the state of Texas, they love it.
Do you think that of all these new relationships, all the handshakes, all the new contacts that we have, do you think there might be something somewhere near you, 12, 24, 36 months down the road, now that they know we exist, and we might not, I don't know, might not be the first place in mind for NVIDIA, for example. They went to Houston, they went to Dallas, but they're going to need some suppliers and some ancillary services and some small manufacturing, plastic injection, metal molding, stamping, things like that. I think we could very easily put those on trucks or put those on the intercoastal waterway, send them up to Houston.
Of course, we have the Port of Bronzeville, my friend. It's our driving force. But when you have economic development, the key is how will you place yourself. Because we just started with it. We had the most influential economic development show ever for the Rio Grande Valley. No one has done it before. We went ahead. We went to Houston. We have 14 countries plus the U.S. plus Mexico represented in the event in Houston. Nobody had done it before, but this is the first step. Just imagine if the EDCs will get into one of these relationships and develop a relationship with these specific countries, with these specific trade missions. I think we could do wonders.
Joaquin Spammer for Rio Plex, the very new and aggressive effort to market South Texas for capturing industry in South Texas and northern Mexico. A few days back, as you heard us here on KURV, we were broadcasting from this first ever major summit of international investors and countries that were represented at the summit. We were selling South Texas and northern Mexico to them. Now the follow-up, market visits. Have you been able to line up some of these folks to come and visit the port and visit the
we already have a group coming. It's already been on the process of getting it worked out.
Come and scouting some of the land, some of the possibilities. Go see. What do you show them then, Mr. Stone?
Everything.
Okay.
We have to be fair. So for this to work, for the Rio Plex initiative to work, we need to be fair. So what we did, we got a very good board of directors, half of them from Cameron County, the other half is from Hidalgo County, one from Matamoros, another one from Reynosa. So we want to have a very well-balanced board of directors.
Yeah.
But we're moving to the second phase of the
presentation,
the plan.
Yeah.
We're getting already ambassadors aligned.
Okay.
We started last Thursday. We already have 2 on board. And what we want to reach is 150 ambassadors representing Rio Plex. What is an ambassador? An ambassador is a businessman that has a business industry. They're close to the industry sector, that have businesses throughout the valley, that they want to help. They want to go all over the world. They want to spread the message. We just finished Easter week, so let's put it in Catholic words. We're looking for apostles.
Okay.
And we already have 2.
Preach the gospel of South Texas, northern Mexico.
One of them is Margarita de Leon and my friend Jorge Torres. They already signed up. We have a long list of very influential, successful businessman that we think we're going to be able to get to 150 to represent Rioplex outside of Rioplex.
Okay, let's define the ambassadors, because as we have some folks in industry and management and folks who own business and land down here, what are you looking for? And let's go back again. What are you looking for in an ambassador as we put a call out to represent South Texas and launch, catapult to the world and some of these new contacts with some of these foreign dignitaries? Let's go out and sell South Texas. So what are you looking for in a local ambassador?
Mainly businessmen that have relationships in different parts of the world. For example, if you talk to someone like, let's say, Jorge Torres, no? And Jorge Torres has already some relationship with some Japanese companies. So he has been in Japan several times. He has been all over the world. He has the economic means to travel. He loves to travel. The same as Margarita, actually. Margarita is abroad right now. I believe she's in Europe. But these businessmen, these businesswomen, they have the experience of dealing with different businesses from all over the world. That's what we're looking for. People that they understand that when you bring industry, everybody gets the benefit. And we have a profile of what the ambassador should be. We have a list of ambassadors that have been proposed from the board of directors, people from Cameron County, Matamoros, Reynosa, Hidalgo County. Of course, you're looking at industrial developers, residential developers, commercial developers, builders, bankers. We have a pretty good lineup of bankers. So it's the private sector. It's the private sector getting together and talking to the public sector and say, guys, we're here to help. So I'm going to repeat myself, Sergio. If let's say the FAR EDC with my good friend Ambrosio decides to take on a specific territory, call it Germany, he's going to have a full set of ambassadors willing to help.
Okay. So it's now going into the world as apostles and preachers of South Texas, northern Mexico, potential prosperity if they set up here. What about, for example, as we see a lot of industry coming to the U.S., and let me go back to NVIDIA, Houston and Dallas, to go door knocking with them and saying, oh, by the way, muchachos, we're only, Troy is only 5 hours south of downtown Houston, and anything you need as far as support services or feeder industries, look for us. Look at it. Look at all the land. Come and see us in South Texas. Maybe approaching industry. Do you think that would be a good idea? Especially
definitely. Throughout the whole state of Texas, we need to sell ourselves. But let me tell you what we need to sell. We need to sell our labor force. We have a culture of hardworking people, and led. I'm going to say something, Sergio. Led by women. If you want to find some very hardworking person here in South Texas, you're going to see that most of the women are strong, very driven, very successful. I'm just impressed. As you saw in the event that we had in Houston, it was completely organized by a team of very successful ladies that went ahead and put the event together. So we have that kind of resources here in South Texas that is unique. We have the talent. We have the force, the culture. I think that the labor force is something that we need to be selling all over the world and in Texas.
Manpower, or in this case, woman power.
Woman power, my friend.
The work ethic, the educational institutions from all the great colleges, South Texas College, Texas Southmost, TSTC, the university, ready to train and get that pipeline. Even the school districts can get people trained for any assembly line that decides to come down here to support all this industry coming to Texas. Continued success, my friend. Stop by again. Let's keep these conversations going.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes, sir. From Rioplex, Joaquin Spammer. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV, your station for Astros baseball. Don't forget the Astros tonight, 7 p.m. against the Blue Jays. We got sports next on 710 KURV.
The Viva Fresh Expo in Houston, Texas was buzzing with innovation.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the Cal at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
The Viva Fresh Expo in Houston, Texas was buzzing with innovation and industry insights, and 710 KURV brought it all to you. If you missed any of it, see it all again on our social platforms. The South Texas Pulse of Business. News Talk 710 KURV.
You know that payment that you send to the mortgage company every month for your house? You budget for it, and you've even got it memorized, that monthly payment. Now, imagine for a second that bill comes in next week, but it's hundreds more than usual. Crushed. You call everybody. You call your mom, the mortgage company, anybody to give you an answer about this obvious mistake. You're on the phone with the mortgage company, and they politely explain to you that your property taxes went up, so your payment went up, as if it's just a normal thing that happens. Well, it does happen all the time. And this is one of those rare cases where you can fight the tax man and win. The people that do this for you are called CAD Tax. CAD Tax will fight for your property taxes to get reduced. And if they can't, you pay nothing. Call CAD Tax now to get your property taxes lowered before your house payment goes up. CAD Tax does all the work and you save all the money. Call 631-SAVE.
CAD Tax, CAD Tax, CAD Tax, CAD Tax.
It's Astros baseball later tonight as they host the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch at 7:10. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women, Mission Economic Development Corporation, and News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
Let's start off with the Texas Rangers as they were blanked 1-0 against the LA Dodgers yesterday. All it took was a sacrifice fly in the late innings to give the Dodgers the only run of the game, as Texas couldn't get the offense going. Texas now looks to put this game behind them, focus on tomorrow as they travel to Western Sacramento to play the Athletics for a 3-game series. The Astros hosted the Padres this weekend and now stay at home to host the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Kevin Gausman gets the start for Toronto against Astros righty Hunter Brown at 7:10 p.m. Switching on over to Texas hockey as the Dallas Stars look to pick up their first win since April 3rd, and they'll need it, now down a game in the series with Colorado. Confidence is high, but the results are looking to be seen as Dallas looks to even the series with the Avalanche tonight at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for Game 2 of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs at 8:30 p.m. With your Texas in the Morning report, I'm James Tritley.
AccuWeather says highs for today should be in the upper 80s. We got a better chance of rain tomorrow, says AccuWeather. We start this Monday morning with some fog. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Yet you can tell there's no school. Many places in Brownsville. Yeah, we got low wait times at the moment. Headed back to Brownsville. 20 minutes at most at Gateway, 15 at Veterans. McAllen, 10 to 15 at San Luis Hidalgo, 30 at the Far Bridge. Business news check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. Also at Radio Para Mi. Download the free app. Enchilada time at El Pato. You know, every day of the week, they've got amazing specials. It's a lot of food for not a lot of money, and it's real good food. It's our food. The flavor of South Texas, Northern Mexico, the flavor of Mama's Kitchen, Ama's Kitchen, fresh flour tortillas off the skillet, and all these extras, putting in some refried bean, putting some rice, put, for example, some chicken guisado, lettuce and tomato, and some cheese. That's my son's favorite. No, he said, "Oh, Dad, give me some of those tacos you give me from El Pato." Yeah, it's actually for him. It's carne guisada, lettuce, tomato, cheese, and he doesn't like the refried bean. He said, "Oh no," he said he doesn't want the refried bean, but the little one does. Get some of those chicken, rice, and bean. Oh my goodness, they're all good. Look, the daily specials at El Pato, $5.99. Every day of the week, a different special. Could be the chicken enchiladas, carne guisada, chicken guisado. So you can, right now, the big special at all El Pato restaurants. And you know where it is? Phone it in. Ask Siri to call the El Pato down the street. Or you phone it in or go to elpato.com. Right now, the enchiladas verdes, rice, bean, and the drink. And amazing, only $6.99. It's so delicious. It's El Pato Valley-wide.
Active Liver is the easy way to get daily detox to keep you healthy and feeling your best. Find Active Liver at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
JP looks good in orange, don't you think? My friend JP over at Amigo Power Equipment. Yeah, he's an Aggie, but he looks good in orange. That would be Kubota orange, as in Kubota Orange Days. America's #1 selling compact tractor. You will find it at Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh on Monte Cristo. It's Kubota. Zero-turn mowers from Kubota. Yes, at Amigo Power in Edinburgh. All those RTVs, all that versatile equipment, and all the add-ons. Like you put something for the tractor, you need to chop up stuff, or you need to put some fencing out there. Yeah, it's Kubota. America's #1 selling compact tractor is at Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh, and get matched for what you need to do. Get matched with the equipment that you need now through June 13th at Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh. JP and Jeff going to hook you up with 0 down, 0% annual financing for up to 84 months if you qualify. Or plan B would be save up to $3,000 off select compact tractors from Kubota at Amigo Power Equipment. You get more information at KubotaOrangeDays.com. Stop by, visit with JP and Jeff over at Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh, Monte Cristo.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note rose this morning as investors weighed concerns over tariffs and comments by President Trump criticizing Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The benchmark 10-year Treasury yield was 6 basis points higher at 4.391%. DHL is suspending high-value shipments to the U.S. effective today as it struggles with delays from customs clearances amid the new U.S. rules. The action comes as new U.S. customs regulations have required goods above $800 in value to undergo tighter customs processing, which took effect April 5th. The Wall Street Journal reports the Trump administration has grown so furious with Harvard University after a week of escalating disputes that it is planning to pull an additional $1 billion of the school's funding for health research. Futures are sharply lower as investors await progress on Trump's trade deals. On Thursday, the Dow Industrials lost 527, the NASDAQ down 20. That's Your Money Now.
Trump administration says no new federal hiring till midsummer. Separate note, one federal agency losing 90% of their employees. There's reports saying the Trump administration laying off 1,500 workers at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And if you're a veteran, military veterans getting a discount to see Warfare. Cinemark participating with discounted tickets for military veterans to see Warfare. AccuWeather says highs for today should be in the upper 80s and an increasing chance of rain going into tomorrow. Thank you for joining us on the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Discover us at Radio Para Mi. Download the free app. Fox News coming up in 2 minutes. A dear friend of mine, Dale Johnson, wants all of y'all to know, and you know Dale because I've been talking about his company, DLJ, for the longest time. His stellar reputation and his work ethic and being the top commercial roofer in the area. This, my friend Dale Johnson, the top commercial roofer, is locking arms with a new company to South Texas. It partners with Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing that I want you and Dale wants you to know of. He trusts Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Talked with them for the longest, for months and many months, been talking. And now my friend Dale Johnson taking his legacy of awesome customer service and performance and fixing, repairing, replacing all those commercial roofs, and now taking it to the next level, taking it to the stratosphere. It's Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. 125 plus years of experience and bringing with them cutting-edge installation technology, advanced waterproofing solutions, and, of course, all these expanded services and valued warranties that you can expect, and even more, a brand new, bigger menu of offerings. It's Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Remember the name and the website, chamberlainltd.com. My friend Dale Johnson, trust them. You should trust them as well. Give them a phone call, and let's start that conversation about your commercial roof. Hey, they can even help you on your house as well. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing at 956-566-6822.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Bumper-to-bumper information.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Happy Monday. It is April 21st, 2025. This is the Valley's Morning News. It's News Radio for South Texas. Show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and across the area we start the day low 70s with some fog. News on 710 KURV is a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm CJ Papa. The leader of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis, dies today at the age of 88. Fox's Greg Pelcott in London.
After weeks of sometimes critical illness, 88-year-old Pope Francis is passed away. He was the first pope from the Americas. He was a symbol of humility and compassion for the poor and downtrodden. Now he is gone.
Archbishop of New York, Timothy Cardinal Dolan, earlier at St. Patrick's in Midtown Manhattan.
You couldn't choreograph it any better than what happened. The last time we saw him, Easter Sunday, the last words, a blessed Easter, as he gave us his blessing.
President Trump posting on Truth Social, rest in peace, Pope Francis. May God bless him and all who loved him. Pope Francis was 88. America's listening to Fox News.
Folks in McAllen will begin paying their last respects to Assistant City Manager Joe Vetta today. Public viewing will be held at the McAllen Performing Arts Center at 4 p.m., Rosary at 6. Funeral services will take place at Sacred Heart Catholic Church 1 p.m. tomorrow. Burial will be at Palm Valley Memorial Gardens in Pharr. Joe Vetta, the Assistant City Manager for McAllen, passed away last week at age 69. No texting and driving. Remember that campaign. A truck driver has been charged with negligent homicide after a deadly weekend crash in San Benito. Authorities say involved just that, texting and driving. Investigators say that the driver was texting just before his truck crashed into a vehicle attempting to make a turn. A 70-year-old man from San Benito died in the crash. A Mexican truck driver sent to jail, $500,000 bond. The Valley's Morning News on 710 KURV. And this from the Supreme Court. They're preparing to hear arguments against some free health services provided under the so-called Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Since its inception, the ACA has required insurers to cover more than 100 preventative health care services at no cost to the customer. Things like cancer screenings, immunizations. Without those requirements, insurance companies could cherry pick what they wanted to cover. The Supreme Court is going to hear arguments on the subject today after a lawsuit filed by some conservative Texas employers. Permits have been filed for 4 mini nuclear reactors to be built along the Texas Gulf Coast. The announcement coming from a subsidiary of Dow Chemical.
Governor Abbott has said it's time for Texas to lead a nuclear power renaissance in the U.S., and it's out of need.
We must add more power this session to better fortify our grid.
A big part of this plan, House Bill 14, it would create a $2 billion fund to promote nuclear power and establish the Texas Nuclear Deployment Office. Former Texas Public Utility Commissioner Jimmy Glotfelty.
We are the low regulatory, low cost state. We have the supply chain. We have the labor. And what this bill will do will put us a leg up on every other state.
The Texas House will take up House Bill 14 next week.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And a major U.S. carrier developing air taxis.
Archer Aviation shared last week that it's partnering with United Airlines to develop an air taxi network in New York City. Passengers will be taken from Manhattan to nearby airports by piloted midnight electric air taxis that can carry up to 4 passengers. The service will eventually be able to book as an add-on to regular airline tickets or through Archer's app. I'm Mark Mayfield.
What do you think, Freddie? Yes or no? No. No. I'll let it stick. We'll see how it flies for several years. Then maybe. Yeah, that'd be fun. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Join us at Radio Para Mi. Download that free app. Owning a home, trying to keep up with that's a full-time gig, isn't it? Right? If you do that. Owning a rental property on top of your home, oh man, now you got 2 full-time jobs, or maybe 3 or 4, depending on how many homes. Sometimes you get to the point where, I think I just want to sell that home. It's just too much trouble. Let me give you an example that the Ryan and Brian real estate team helped with, because sometimes you need to move that home and you're not getting the eye traffic. You're not getting the phone calls for it. You know what happened? You didn't call the Ryan and Brian real estate team. The Ryan and Brian real estate team is the only team I'm calling to sell my home or help me find a home. And if you have a rental that you need to sell, orale, time to call the Ryan and Brian real estate team. They just recently sold a duplex in Harlingen. The clients work with another real estate team. They didn't get the results, so they did the smart thing called the Ryan and Brian team. There you go. And it got sold, generated so much interest. And they do that all the time at Ryan and Brian because, man, they have a very aggressive and successful marketing approach, making sure that all ears and eyeballs know about your home. That duplex in Harlingen sold for full asking price. Problem solved. Now put all that money in the bank and get rid of that property. Don't have to do the fixing and repairing for anything anymore. Call the Ryan and Brian real estate team and get your home sold or your rental property sold. 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbrian.com. That's ryanandbrian.com.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Brian. Go to ryanandbrian.com.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Para Mi app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Para Mi app.